Good morning, Sumaiyah. Here's your machine, the Breville Barista Express BES870. I'm quickly going to make an espresso on it just to sort of demonstrate it and test all the features. I guess teach you a thing or two about coffee if this was your first coffee machine. Basically, when you turn it on, it will take about a minute to boot up and reach temperature. Once you see the buttons light up, that means it's ready to go. So that means it's ready to make a coffee, but I highly recommend you run a blank shot. So a blank shot is basically no coffee in the handle. You get your cup. Oops, give me a second. Yeah, you get your cup, put it underneath and warm it up. I'm doing this with a small mug, so it's not as relevant, but if you're making a latte or a bigger drink, a big cup will have a lot of sort of heat mass in it, and if the cup is cold, the coffee will be cold, and that's not pleasant. So just press the single or double. That'll give you a double quantity of water. That's going to warm things up pretty quickly. It's going to warm up your handle, your group head, and if there's any like dirt or coffee oils stuck in the shower screen or the basket, this will clean it up as well. Excellent. Everything looks good. You can put this on the side for now. After this, you take out the portafilter, drain the water in the basket, and then grab a tissue to dry the basket. Your machine comes with 4 baskets. This is the single wall double shot. You also have a double wall double shot, which can be easy to use, a bit easier to use than this, but it won't taste as good and it won't be as easy to clean as this one. I highly recommend you try this one out before you try the others. And you also have this single shot variety, which if you're trying to cut back on your caffeine, that's good to use. Now I'm going to use the scale I've got here to measure the inputs and outputs. I've never made a coffee on this machine, but I had a feel of the grind size yesterday. Obviously the grind size will dictate how big the particles are. On this machine it goes from 1 to 18, 1 being really fine and small particles, 16 being, or 18 being larger particles. I'll be trying it at number 4, I think. It's good just from the texture. I'll have another look. Yep, let's try number 4. Doesn't look too fine or too coarse just by feeling it, but the only way to know if we have the correct grind size is to make a coffee and see how quickly the coffee flows. There's a few variables that can be confusing to think about. You've got the grind size, grind amount, output, and time. We'll try to keep most of them consistent. So the grind amount, we'll try to keep it to give us 18 grams. The output, we want to get 36 grams, which is double of 18. And the time, we want to keep it at 30 seconds. The only thing we're changing, actually no, the time will be the variable that changes with the grind size. So if we keep the grind amount at 18 grams and the output at 36, if we change the grind size, that'll change our speed. Therefore, at how much or how many seconds it takes to get the 36 gram shot. If, say I use grind size 16, which is too large, I would say. If I use that and then I try to make a 36 gram shot, that shot would take maybe 10-15 seconds. Too quick. When it's too quick, you'll see low pressure, you'll get little crema, sort of diluted flavors and a sourness in the shot. On the other hand, if you're using a really fine grind size and the particles are very small, water is struggling to go through, you'll notice the pressure skyrocket, number one. Number two, the flow will be really slow. It'll be dripping out of the where's the handle? It'll be dripping out of the handle rather than flowing in a constant stream. And it'll taste really bitter. That is if you're drinking espresso alone. If you're adding sugar or syrups, then maybe this is not as relevant. But yeah, let's see what we get. I'll keep the grind amount at 12 o'clock. I'll keep the filter size on single, and I'll do it twice. Rather than doing it on double, I'll do it on single and do it twice. This way it's less messy and it doesn't waste coffee. Because if I do the double, it may like pile up, then spill out as I take it out, which not really good. It's a bit of a waste of time. I forgot to mention, yeah, the machine, as you saw in the photos, it's a used machine, so you'll have some wear and tear. This one a bit worse just because of the dents, but a few dents on the front, I'm sure you can see them. But yeah, internally the machine is fantastic, absolutely no issues. I did the service last night, or yesterday morning actually. Yeah, I did all the cleaning procedures, testing everything, the pressure, leaks, steam, etc, etc. Everything seems to be fine, absolutely no issues. Okay, that's my first dose, and we got 9.3, which is okay. I'll just dial it back a little bit so we can get 9 grams, or a bit less is fine. So obviously 9 grams twice is 18. So we may not need more beans. Okay. Take out the portafilter and measure. Should be getting 18. 17 and a half. That's good. Yeah, I think keep it at the 11 o'clock position. Maybe the 12 o'clock position. It's hard to say. I'll leave it at the 12 o'clock position. But the important thing is that once you're done, I'll just top it up. 18 grams. Yeah, this is 18 grams basically. Before you press, just spread the coffee with your hand, so that when you press it with the tamper, it's nice and even pressure all around. And another nice trick is look at the depth of the tamper and the silver part. If this silver part disappears, then you've got the right amount. So if it's sinking this deep into the handle, then you're doing the right thing. So if you're in a hurry, if you don't have a scale, this is how you can know. Yeah, this is 18 grams. I'll leave it at 12 o'clock. You don't have to measure everything, you don't have to use a scale and turn the coffee making into a science experiment. I do it just for consistency and for the customer's sort of curiosity. But if you want to get a good coffee and like consistent results, do use the scale just for the beginning to know like how many grams this gives you, how many grams this gives you. Otherwise you can just eye level it, which is fine as well, or eyeball it. Yeah, so once that's tamped, press it all the way to the right. You can try putting it in the middle, but it may slip. So all the way to the right is what I would recommend. Then drain the water out of your espresso glass or mug. If you like to add sugar or syrups, do it now before the espresso, so that it mixes nicely. I'm going to reset my scale again, and now we'll start the shot. I will time it. I've got a timer here. And I'm also going to reprogram the buttons for you. So this is the other variable. These buttons are reprogrammable. You can change them to whatever length you like, from 20 mils all the way to 200 mils, I think. The correct shot for espresso is 40 or 36 as we discussed. So I'll aim for 36 in there, which is about 2/3 of the glass. So to reprogram, you press the program. You should do this with coffee only, not with water. So press the program, then the button you want to program. Looks good. 1 o'clock pressure. Nice smooth flow. Symmetrical on both sides. A lot of crema. Yeah, looks like we got it from the first go. I will stop it at 23 seconds. 23, 24 seconds. 36 grams. I'll quickly show you what it looks like. Sorry about that mess. Yeah, 36 and a half approximately. This is what it looks like. A lot of good crema. Yeah, it did 23, 24 seconds, not the 30 we were aiming for. So we can go a bit finer on the grind size if we wanted to. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'll leave it as is. I think this is okay. Now next time you make a coffee, it'll be the same volume, hopefully, if it's a similar bean and similar settings. Yeah, you want to clean it up right away. Take out the portafilter, knock it off, really easy to clean. Then press the single just to flush. This will clean your shower screen and obviously your portafilter as well. You can do this once or twice. Then if you want to be extra nice to your machine, grab a tissue or a brush and wipe off the shower screen. There's always a bit of oils and coffee grounds there, even after you flush. So it's good. It's a good habit to pick up every few shots. Just clean the shower screen with a tissue or a brush. Yeah, if I were to turn this into a long black coffee, I would add hot water. You've got a hot water tap here on the right hand side. Just turn this dial. It'll give you clean hot water right from the boiler. Turn this into a latte or a cappuccino. Turn on the steam. Steam some milk. You just have to learn the technique. There's a lot of YouTube videos that will explain this better than I can. Basically, you just want to keep the milk spinning. Keep this close to the surface, the tip of the wand close to the surface. Keep it spinning, and then when it's too hot to the touch, you turn it off. Turn it off, take it out. Give it a purge to clean, then wipe the wand. And yeah, the machine will cool down on its own, so give it 5 seconds, it will go to espresso mode shortly. Perfect. I think that's it. Nice and short video. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Thanks.